My name is Chris, and until 3 weeks ago, I was a senior marketing manager at Global Tech Solutions. 12 years. 12 years I poured my heart and soul into that company. I started in the mailroom, worked my way up, and bled Global Tech blue. I missed birthdays, anniversaries, even my own father's funeral because of a crucial product launch. And what did I get for it? A pink slip. It wasn't even a meeting, just a terse email from HR, summoning me to the VP's office. Mr. Thompson, a man I'd considered a mentor, barely made eye contact. Restructuring, he mumbled. Unfortunate necessity. He handed me the severance package, a pittance compared to what I'd contributed, and ushered me out like a discarded spreadsheet. I was in a daze. 12 years, gone, just like that. I walked out of the Global Tech building, box of personal belongings clutched in my hands, feeling like a ghost. The city seemed indifferent to my plight, the sun shining brightly as if mocking my despair. I drove home in silence, the knot in my stomach tightening with each mile. My wife, Sarah, met me at the door, her face etched with concern. I told her everything, the words tumbling out in a jumbled mess of anger and disbelief. Sarah, bless her, held me together. She listened patiently, offered words of comfort, and promised we'd figure it out. But beneath her brave facade, I saw the worry in her eyes. We had a mortgage, car payments, and 2 kids to feed. My job wasn't just a career, it was our lifeline. That night, sleep evaded me. My mind raced, replaying the events of the day, searching for a reason, an explanation, anything that would make sense of this injustice. Was I not good enough? Had I made enemies without realizing it? The questions swirled in my head, fueling my anxiety and resentment. The next few days were a blur of job applications, networking events, and fruitless interviews. The market was flooded with talent, and my experience, once a valuable asset, now seemed like a liability. I was overqualified for some positions, not the right fit for others. The rejection emails piled up, each one chipping away at my self-esteem. One evening, while mindlessly scrolling through LinkedIn, I stumbled upon a curious post. It was from a former Global Tech employee, Mark Olson, who had left the company a few years ago. The post was cryptic, hinting at dark secrets and corporate conspiracies within Global Tech. Intrigued, I reached out to Mark, and to my surprise, he responded almost immediately. We arranged to meet for coffee the next day. Mark was different from how I remembered him, more cautious, more guarded. He spoke in hushed tones, constantly glancing around as if someone were listening. He told me a story about unethical practices, data manipulation, and a culture of fear within Global Tech. He claimed that the restructuring was a smokescreen, a way to silence anyone who knew too much. I was skeptical at first, but as Mark recounted his experiences, a chilling realization dawned on me. I had witnessed some of these irregularities myself, questionable accounting practices, deleted emails, and hushed conversations behind closed doors. I had dismissed them as minor discrepancies, but now, in the light of Mark's accusations, they seemed much more sinister. Mark warned me to be careful. He believed that Global Tech was watching him, monitoring his communications. He urged me to protect my family and to avoid any direct confrontation. He gave me a USB drive containing evidence, documents, emails, and recordings that allegedly exposed Global Tech's wrongdoings. He told me to use it wisely, but to be prepared for the consequences. I took the USB drive, my hands trembling. I felt a mix of excitement and fear. Was this the opportunity I needed to clear my name and expose the truth? Or was I walking into a dangerous game that I couldn't possibly win? That night, I plugged the USB drive into my computer and began to examine its contents. The evidence was damning. There were emails detailing illegal price-fixing agreements, documents outlining fraudulent marketing schemes, and recordings of executives discussing how to cover up their tracks. The more I delved into the files, the more horrified I became. I knew I couldn't ignore this. I had a responsibility to expose the truth, no matter the cost. But I also knew that Global Tech wouldn't go down without a fight. They had resources, influence, and a ruthless determination to protect their reputation. I decided to contact a journalist, Sarah Miller, who had a reputation for investigative reporting. I sent her an anonymous email outlining the evidence I had and suggesting a meeting. To my relief, she responded within hours, expressing her interest in the story. We met at a secluded cafe, away from prying eyes. I presented Sarah with the USB drive and explained everything I knew. She was visibly shocked by the evidence, but also excited about the potential of the story. She promised to investigate further and to protect my identity. For the next few weeks, Sarah worked tirelessly, verifying the information and building a case against Global Tech. I remained in the shadows, providing her with additional leads and support. The tension was unbearable. I was constantly looking over my shoulder, paranoid that Global Tech was watching me. One evening, I received a threatening phone call. A distorted voice warned me to back off, to drop the investigation, or face the consequences. I hung up, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew then that Global Tech was aware of my involvement. I told Sarah about the phone call, and she immediately contacted her editor. They decided to publish the story immediately, before Global Tech could silence us. The article appeared on the front page of the newspaper, exposing the company's illegal activities and sparking a massive public outcry. The fallout was immediate and devastating for Global Tech. The stock price plummeted, executives were fired, and the company faced multiple lawsuits and investigations. The truth had finally come out, and the perpetrators were being held accountable. But my ordeal wasn't over yet. Global Tech, desperate to deflect blame, launched a smear campaign against me, accusing me of being a disgruntled employee who fabricated the evidence. They leaked damaging information about my past, trying to discredit my character and undermine my credibility. I was devastated. My reputation was in tatters, and my family was suffering. I felt like I had made a terrible mistake, that I should have just stayed silent and moved on. But Sarah Miller stood by me. She published a series of articles defending my integrity and exposing Global Tech's lies. She revealed the lengths they were willing to go to protect their image, further damaging their reputation. And then, something unexpected happened. Other former Global Tech employees, inspired by my courage and Sarah's reporting, came forward with their own stories of abuse and corruption. The dam had finally broken, and the truth was flooding out. The authorities launched a full-scale investigation into Global Tech, uncovering even more evidence of wrongdoing. The company was eventually forced to admit its guilt and pay a hefty fine. The executives responsible were arrested and charged with multiple felonies. As for me, my name was finally cleared, the smear campaign backfired, and I was hailed as a hero, a whistleblower who risked everything to expose the truth. I received numerous job offers, and I eventually accepted a position at a smaller, more ethical company. But the experience changed me forever. I learned that even the most powerful institutions can be brought down by the truth, and that even the smallest voice can make a difference. I also learned that loyalty is a two-way street, and that some companies are willing to sacrifice their employees for their own gain. In the end, getting fired from Global Tech was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to confront my own values, to stand up for what I believed in, and to fight for justice. It was a long and terrifying journey, but it led me to a better place, a place where I could finally be proud of myself and the work I do. And Sarah, we are still in touch. She even covered my story for a follow-up piece.